All right. How's it going, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Monday Live. So, yeah, had some technical difficulties there. Just wanted to get everything right. But hope everybody is doing well. So wait for some people to get in here, and we'll check the chat for results on the sound and the video, and then we'll go ahead and get right into hanging out. Got a couple things I want to show you guys. I found one interesting thing at the thrift store that I went to in another town. I actually made a video over there, and I didn't plan on doing it at all, but it was kind of just, you know what I mean? Just winging it. So I saw something cool, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna explore. And then I explored some more, and I explored some more, and ended up with a video. Probably gonna come out tomorrow. We'll talk more about that in a little bit here. But first of all, the gas right now is $2.99. Seen it at $2.89 some places, so we'll call it $2.89. We'll just be generous with that. But gas at $2.89. So let me know what it is where you are, whether you're watching the stream later on in the day or later on after the fact, or if you're watching it right now. Let me know what gas cost, where you're at, and what you're doing over there. Are you using the Upside app? What are you doing? You're not buying gas, you're driving electric cars these days. What is everybody doing? Electric cars, are they going to take over, or is it just a fad? I think they're going to probably become more popular, but I don't know. I think it's going to take a long time. Those things are resource heavy. Require a lot of resources to make an electric car. All right, so let me get some stuff going for the live stream here. I just want to get my chat phone in. $2.89 with the Upside. Awesome. That's great. So that means you can hear me as well. Hopefully the audio is good. Hopefully the video is good. We're about to kick off in a minute here. We'll talk about that video that I took earlier today that I did not know that was going to happen. It was not planned. Those are the best ones though. And some of the stuff coming up, we'll talk about some of the videos I did recently. The one I did last week, we're going to talk about that. Like I said, I got this interesting thing that I found at the thrift store. We'll look at that in a minute. And I got a bag full of stuff from the bin store as well. This is that new bin store that I've been going to in a different town. So I've been going to the one in Raleigh, and now I'm going to one in a different town, and I like it. I like the trip up there, and I like the some of the stuff around there too. So like I said, I was exploring kind of close to that area, somewhere around that area earlier today, and yeah, I just found some really cool stuff. I was like, dude, I'm gonna show you guys. It's coming tomorrow probably. But anyway, let me get this set up and we'll get rocking and rolling. But hope everybody's doing well. Let me know how you're doing in the chat. We'll get this set up and we'll get going for the Monday live stream. I can't talk and do things. I'm trying to do something, and I'm also trying to talk at the same time. It's not working. Not working too good. Not multitasking too well here. That's okay. All right, so we got that going. I think we're good. I got the chat phone over here so I could see the chat. I got the camera here. I got the microphone. Should be working. I'm assuming everybody can hear me because I got at least one response on the gas price response there, so that's good. And I think the service is pretty good too. So I had to so basically just went ahead and came right back over here where I normally stream after I was done with all that. I wanted to check out two thrift stores. Well, one wasn't a thrift store, and I guess we'll go ahead and talk about that. It was a store that was very similar to a thrift store. I don't know what you would call it, but they had a little bit of everything. They had some homemade stuff. They had some like maybe local type stuff. The prices were a little bit on the high side though. They had some thrift store type stuff too. They actually had Hot Wheels. Which was interesting. But some of the Hot Wheels models were like $7, you know, just ones that are normally $1.25 in the store, Walmart, or the dollar store, or whatever. They were $7, $8, $9, $10. So it was kind of like this, like, I know what I got type pricing. And, you know, when I started looking through there, I I almost just left immediately, but and they had some trading cards, baseball cards, basketball cards, things like that. I mean, they had a lot of cool stuff, but the prices were a little bit off. And they had VHSs in a box somewhere. And they had them labeled, priced individually. The VHSs, they had some up to $5. I don't do that, guys. I don't do that. I have a place where I get VHS tapes for 10 for $1. That's how I get my VHS tapes. And then there's another place that I get them for 25 cents, and the most I'll ever pay usually is 50 cents, unless it's a known to be super rare tape. But that's really not what these were. These weren't sealed. They weren't special. It wasn't some special stuff. So $10 for one. That's right, Dan. 10 for one. There's a store here. I'm not going to give it up. There might be some local people that might go. It's a secret spot. But yeah, no, 10 for one, and I've got a lot of them. And Dan, I don't know if you were here last time, but I had bought a VHS tape one time, The Fly. 25 cents I purchased the tape sold for $125. So how about that for some arbitrage? But that's probably the best percentage I've ever made on buying and reselling media. 25 cents to $125. It was The Fly, and it had the watermark, fresh in the wrap or whatever, but from the 90s, of course. So brand new with the watermark, classic, The Fly, yeah. And yeah, not worth watching when you can just leave it in the wrapper and make $125 on it. Basically, after fees, made over $100 on that deal. So that, occasionally get lucky. That's the exception, not the rule. Most of the time. Now, horror, I've noticed that horror films and things like that, there's some rare ones. They make they make a little bit of money too. Some of them worth 10, 20, 30, 40, and even 50. I got a couple on my eBay store right now that I listed up recently because of the time of year. It's a perfect time of year to sell stuff like that. And, I was actually shocked. I had these that were I have a lot of stuff still sitting in bins where I've sourced it, and I don't want to put it out all at once. Because the algorithm really likes you to be just active all the time. So I kind of have a backlog of inventory that doesn't stay on the store. And, I put it up as time goes by. But I had these tapes from an individual who sold all their media to me. And they had collected a lot of horror movies. And I know nothing about these horror movies. I'm really not big into them. And but it turns out that some of those tapes, VHSs, are worth like 40, 50 bucks. Yeah. So a couple of them were worth 20. There was one that was worth like 10 or 12. But yeah, sometimes you get lucky. But yeah, that's how I like to buy them, 10 for $1. And look out for those horror films if you're getting into flipping as a hobby or something like that. Horror films do great. It's really quite amazing. And now it's also this time of year, but it's in general horror movies, they have this like cult following, especially the ones from like the 80s and the 90s and stuff like that. So yeah, they do really well. Nikki Silverstacker, how you doing? Welcome to the house. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you being here in the live stream, spending some time with us on the live stream today, just hanging out, just talking about some stuff that I flip from time to time, talking about VHSs specifically right now, and love 80s movies, yeah. So yeah, some of the cult type movies, they maybe didn't make as many prints of those. They never made it to DVD, of course. Some of them were kind of crazy. I mean, I've never actually sat and watched any of these because I usually just sell them, to be honest. But looking at the description and looking at some of the stuff about them, some of them are like really wild. They're kind of erotic, and they might be a little bit, very gory, and it's crazy. So they're kind of culty. Certain people like that stuff. I don't, but if I find it, I'll pass it along to the people who want it. Have I ever looked into Lego? I had sold a couple Lego sets, like brand new, that I've gotten doing retail arbitrage at Walmart. Sometimes they have clearances on the entire Lego section, and you may find good deals that way. It's also a good way, I know you're into Legos, Dan, it's also a good way to acquire your Legos at a discount price if you can get them on clearance. Sometimes that's good. Now, like I said, I've been able to flip them. A lot of times they don't actually have enough enough room in there to flip them, because keep in mind, I'm not selling stuff for more expensive than it is in the store. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not trying to get over on anybody. So what we do is I can only do it. I can only really flip the items if I can sell them at a better price at a rate that's like lower than what you would buy at a store. I'm not trying to like get something you would get at Walmart for $50 and sell it for 60. You know what I mean? I need to sell it for like 40. I want to make it worthwhile to the customer, right? And also they go a little bit quicker that way, so they don't just sit in the inventory. But yeah, Legos, I mean, okay, so there are people that do Legos, Dan. They do Legos specifically, and they sell, if they can't find the kits, like the whole set, they'll sell the pieces. They'll sell like the yellow brick, like 2 bricks, or like, you know, green 4 brick or whatever. They'll sell the pieces. Actually, they just sell by the colors a lot of times, and they do it by the pound. So they'll have like bags, and they'll say like 5 pounds red Legos. And so, you know, it'll be like 10 pounds green Lego, whatever. And then, so people actually sell Lego by weight. It's actually, it is a thing. I'm not into it necessarily. I probably could get into it, but I've never really done it. But yeah, if you came across a huge bin of Legos in the wild, and it was, you know, really cheap, like $10 for just a big bin of Legos, you should pick that up, because you could even just sell by the weight. So somebody said something about you sell silver and gold coins. Okay, that's cool. I like silver coins. Hold on. Well, do I have any coins? Let's see if I have any coins. I don't think I have any silver coins, but I have a round that I carry with me. I carry silver rounds sometimes. I'm weirdo. Check this out. The little Aztec. So I usually carry like a little silver round, sometimes, whatever. But I don't really buy and sell silver that much. I stopped buying silver at around 26 an ounce. I think the last round that I bought was $28. Hey Jason, how you doing? Welcome to the house. The last round that I bought was, I think, $28. So I think spot was around 26, maybe at that time, something give or take. And yeah, and I was like unhappy about that. You know what I mean? I was like, dude, this is getting high. Like, I don't know, because I had started buying silver again. I think I bought a silver Morgan silver dollar. It was the spot was $14, right? So 14 up to 26, and I'm thinking, man, this is high. Now here it is, close to, is it 50? Did it hit 50 yet? Did it hit 50? I haven't looked at it in a few days. I don't look at it every day. It's 51 an ounce. Good Lord. That's crazy, dude. So this is an all-time high ever, right? Because didn't it hit like 50 in the 80s? And then never reached that again. So we're at an all-time high on silver. Isn't that crazy? So I probably paid $25 for this thing right here, 26 bucks. And if you want a free silver bar, let me know. I'd love to have a free silver bar, of course. No, but yeah, no, so it's an all-time high. That's crazy. That's crazy. What have I got to buy to get a free silver bar? How do I do that? Yeah, that's wild. So this thing has doubled in value since I've had it. That's insane. So all my silver has doubled in value. I don't have a lot of silver, guys. I really don't. But it's just interesting to know that it's gone up at that rate, man. Wow. I never would have thought of buying silver as something to like, I could potentially like double my money on, you know what I mean? Which I don't plan on really doing. Just kind of hold on to it. Simply take a tour of our website. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Tesla stock went up, hold on, went up 5%, doubled my money today. That's awesome. That's very good. It's better than waiting 10 years if you did buy silver a long time ago. Yeah, no, so I was upset, Dan, because last week, you know, we had some, I would consider buying opportunities, not financial advice, but whatever. I didn't have a lot of dry powder because I've got some, you know, I'm kind of tied up right now. And I was kind of upset about that on the crypto end and the stock market end. I would have loved to have. I did scoop some stuff up. I just didn't have the amount of dry powder that I wish that I had had to be prepared for that. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, it dumped a bit. But you know, to me, like I don't you know, we've discussed this, Dan. I'm that kind of crazy person that, you know, I started off in actually crypto. So to me, dumps like this are just, but even in crypto, it was wild. The alts took a crazy, XRP took a dive. That's true. Alts did go way down. There's some meme coins that dumped to pennies. Yeah, the memes. So they do get hit the worst in situations like this, situations like that, I should say. I think everything's kind of rebounding a little bit, but I haven't looked at it today either. It was 115. Bitcoin was 115 when I looked at it earlier, so I don't know where it's at today. I've been busy doing business, but yeah, the alts they always get wrecked, you know, more than anything else. Leverage traders, that's right. That's the issue there. Hey, Susan, how you doing? Welcome to the house. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for stopping by. You didn't do the face reveal yet, did you? I hope I didn't miss that. I was off YouTube for a couple days. Sometimes, so by the way, guys, sometimes I may disappear for a couple days. Sometimes I can't. I just got to take a break, right? And I do it because I do research. I'm doing research for my other channel right now, pretty heavy, because once I get into the camper and I get it set up where I can film, I can do a little bit more like long videos, and I'm gonna have some research with resources and things like that. I'm gonna be able to sit there at the desk and actually have everything that I need right there. So anyway, when I'm doing that, sometimes I just have to step away. So I may have missed out on some things, but I will be catching up. Leverage destroyed traders. Yeah, so leverage, I've never got into leverage. And I don't think I should, probably. It's not necessarily, like, I'm not good as a trader anyway. I'm not a very good trader. No, you start 1 hour, start live. Okay, cool. Are you going to the live, the one that you're going to do the face reveal? I'd love to be there. So hopefully I'll try to. I do have to work here in a little bit. Well, I'm going to work a little bit. Everybody has their day off. Most people do today in America, because it's, I guess, Columbus Day or whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna work some. I mean, I've been hustling already. I've been doing the pickups and stuff like that, and at the thrift store and the which we'll talk about in a minute. In the bin store, I got a big bag from the bin store, so huge bag, probably 50 pounds of stuff in there, just items, but lots of pieces. I think it's probably like close to 100 pieces in there of different stuff. So got that done today. Then, like I said, I did the new stores. I was going to try the bin stores. The one store was not a bin store. I'll show you guys right now what I got there. So it wasn't a bin store, or it wasn't a thrift store is what I'm saying. I went to the bin store, and then I was going to check out the 2 thrift stores in this new town that I haven't really explored much. And so the first store that was supposed to be a thrift store was not a thrift store at all. It was kind of like, well, like I was saying earlier, it was kind of like I know what I've got pricing, and everything was up. I mean, even the Hot Wheels were like $7 or $8 each. So it was crazy. So I almost just walked right out of there, but I found something cool. Now, this wasn't working, but this is like an old light, and it's a Black & Decker. Probably can't read that because it's reversed, but it's a Black & Decker called Spotlighter. Hi, Desert Living. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. But anyway, so this is like a kind of crazy looking flashlight, right? I like flashlights. I always pick them up. Sometimes I sell them. Sometimes I don't. I have some vintage lights. I have some vintage style of lights that I've found several times and sold. I've found, like, different, maybe like the same light 10 or 15 times. And I'll keep one. I kind of become familiar with it, how to fix it or whatever, and get it working or replace the bulbs. But anyway, I'll find them and I'll sell them. I'll sell 2 or 3 at a time or whatever. But this is comes with this base that's supposed to charge it. It's kind of lightweight, so I don't think it has the batteries that it came with. So I'll have to try to find this. I took a risk, but this was only $1. So I've never had one of these. This is a really crazy looking flashlight. And if you like flashlights like me, then, I just picked it up. For $1, I took the risk. And also, this will be a cool little rabbit hole to do a little bit of research to try to find out a little bit about this light, about the batteries that go in it, because it was rechargeable batteries. And this is old. I mean, I don't know if this has a date on it. It doesn't have a date on it. But we're talking about a very old light. So I'm going to have to see how to restore this. I will do my best to do that. Might make a video on it. That'd be cool, right? Anyway, so I did find that. So that's something I found. I got to catch up with the chat here. Everybody's saying hello. better go get ready. So sorry, I lost track of time. Oh no, that's great. Hi country, Susan. I will try to. I'll try to stop by if I'm not too busy. And also, I might be able to do it if I'm on the road. Either way. Desert Living, hope you're doing well. You have a thrift store down the street from you. Say, I have a thrift store down the street from me. It's actually a Goodwill, and it's super expensive. Yes, Goodwills are very expensive right now, and I've said this probably 50 times on the channel, but the Goodwills, man, I don't even really go in them anymore. There was a Goodwill in the town that I was just at, but I didn't even go in. I didn't even visit there because, dude, the prices are insane. They have a eBay account, and they move all the good stuff over there on eBay nowadays, and so you don't even really get a chance to find. Yeah, that thing is a classic, Dan. It is a classic, and it's one I've never seen before. So what I'll do first is see if that charger's actually picking up it has a light here, like an indicator light. So I'll see if that light comes on when you plug it in and plug the light in. That's the first step. See if we're getting some kind of voltage through there. Obviously, we'll take the light apart, see if there's any batteries, see if there are batteries in there. We'll see if we can get a charge on them. If not, then I got to figure out what kind of batteries they are to replace them, hopefully, and try that. See if that'll work. Also, I could test the bulb and stuff like that and see if it works. But hey, dude, for $1, I'll play around with this and have fun, and I'll learn a thing or two. And I may flip it or I may keep it, but I think I'll probably flip it. I like lights that I can actually use, and I have a ton of classic flashlights that I can actually use. This, you got to plug it in, but this is about a $50 light if it's working. So, hey, you know what? I'll play around with it. I'll see if I can get it working, and that'll be fun. It's the only thing I could find in that store. And then I went to the other thrift store, which I actually remember I actually have gone to, but it's been like 5 years ago, and it was a good one at the time. But they were closed. Sign said closed Monday. So you know what? That's okay. It's a holiday, technically, and I get it. You're a smart guy. You will get it working. Maybe. I don't know. So technically, when it comes to technical stuff, I try. I'm interested. I want to know. I try, but I'm not the best. Like, I have a friend that builds computers and stuff. He's really good at this stuff. Way better than me, much more patient, and I'm not that good, but I'm always learning, I'm trying, so we'll see, you know what I mean? It's like a little goal for me. Now, my problem is finding the time to do it, but if I can get the time and just say, look, I've got time here, and I don't have to worry about all this other stuff, I can sit down, and yeah, I usually can figure it out if I don't break something, but I have broken things before and just been like, man, that sucks, messed that up, but I'll figure it out. Definitely get in there and check the batteries. Yeah, that's the first thing. So make sure the charger's going to be working, and then check the batteries, and then yeah, we'll get it going maybe if we can. And then I'll just sell it for parts. If I can never get it working, I can sell it for parts. There are people who will fix that thing, or they need the body, or they maybe need the charger. But instead of $50, then it goes down to like 15. You know what I mean, or maybe less. So but we'd get the $1 back at least. So we're not going to lose. We're not going to lose on a light like that monetarily, but in interesting things for me, because I like old lights. You know what I mean? I always buy old flashlights whenever I can find them. So anyway, Desert Living, hope you're doing well. So are you out in the desert today, or are you in the city? This is like a holiday, right? So hopefully you got to chill out in the desert a little bit. What kind of YouTube channels do you watch or I follow these days? Me? So I try not to follow too many. I do. I watch any of you guys who have channels. Most of I know, and I watch your channel or whatever. So there's that. So anybody in the chat is pretty cool. But big channels. I like Hickok 45. He's always had a great channel. Let's see. There's some car channels that I like. There are some. There's a couple like silver channels that I like, but I don't really remember the names, honestly. I don't really follow those hugely. I can follow you. That's right. I will. I'll check you out. See what you got going on there, Silver Stacker. Man, I'm trying to think, dude. There's news stuff, but I jump around. I try not to. I don't subscribe to too many of those things because a lot of times it's a little too much, right? So I try to search for information. Now, this is kind of like what I talk about on the other channel, right? Searching for information rather than scrolling. So I'll get notifications for you guys, but I don't really want notifications for certain things, right? So, but I keep up with current events. You know, I spend a little bit of time every day doing that. Check out Max Wrists. Okay, okay. I don't know what that is, but we'll check it out. Yeah. So lately, actually, it's kind of crazy. So it's not really the subject of this channel, but the last couple of nights, well, the night you saw the digital ID video, liked it, yeah. Yep, that's it's crazy stuff, man. That digital ID, it's wild, you know, and they're pushing it strong. I mean, it's coming on pretty crazy. I got a lot more research on that, by the way, the digital ID and where it has come from and where it's probably going to go. And I have, but we're going to do it in a much more in-depth platform. I got to wait till I get this camper set up where I can do like a longer, either live stream or a longer form video. I mean, because if I were to sit down and really look at all of the research with you guys and like read it out, so I'd be reading it and probably sharing links and stuff like that, it would take a long time. So it would take at least, you know, for a video, I'd be racking up the time up to like an hour or something like that, because there's so much going on. But I want to do that because I do want to provide people resources. I mean, and on a lot of different subjects, not just the digital ID, but that is one of the ones that I've been working on. But what happens is sometimes I'm just like, man, I'm going to get on there and we're just going to chat about it for a little bit, because I'm not ready to do those videos yet, because I have to set up I have this camper and I'm going to set it up in the table area where you sit down, you know, in the little camper. And that's going to be my area where I can film for a while. So it's going to be kind of makeshift, but we're going to make it work. I mean, I think I can make it work, right? So I might get a dedicated laptop and a webcam and an actual boom mic, or I might just use this and the phone for a while. And then I don't have screen share and stuff like that. In that case, what I'll do is just share links and I'll read from documents, articles, books, things like that I have that have been compiling or whatever, so that we can really look at where it is that I'm coming up with these ideas from, because they're not coming out of nowhere, right? I'm not coming out of nowhere with the ideas that I'm putting out on the other channel. You know what I mean? It's all based on research. Hey, thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat there. That's awesome, man. And I don't ever ask for that stuff. It's awesome when it happens. I do appreciate it. You guys are super supportive, and that's awesome. Let's see where we're at here. So I gotta catch up with the chat. Let's see. It's motorcycle racing, that channel. It's a Wealthy Life says, I struggle these days with the doomer, resentful red pill stuff. I keep trying to figure out this world we live in. Well, I understand that, and we'll talk about that. I'll talk about that with you in a little bit here. I'm gonna catch up with the chat. Let's see here. Almost the same info that I covered Desert Living. Yeah, you're on it. Desert Living is on it, on that stuff. Definitely very interesting. Except for you had some information that I didn't have about other countries in Asia, and I found that quite interesting. But I am looking into that very heavily, and I have been for actually several years now. So the digital ID thing is a very old concept. It's something that they now have the information, the technology and information on how to actually implement it. So we're going to be seeing it pushed really strong, really heavy right now across the world. And it's sad. They're doing it in UK at this very moment, trying to push it, but they're getting a lot of pushback over there, a lot of pushback. And it's going to slow them down, but they're not going to stop. The people that implement that kind of stuff don't stop. They have plans that go on for 20 years, 30 years. They say, well, this is Agenda 2030. If that doesn't work out, they'll do Agenda 2045. It doesn't really matter. They're just going to keep going and going and going, and they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop. Let me see here. I was going to watch that, but I saw my live come up. No, I'd rather hang out. That's cool. I appreciate you being here in the live, but do go check that video out. I think I made some good, valid points. We were talking about that before. It took me a week to get the digital ID video. Yeah, all the research, and I put the links in the description. Yep. Yeah, so that particular video today that I released was just me talking about basically this all common knowledge, but it's kind of a take on how to think of this thing going forward. Didn't really require a lot of research, but I think it is important that people understand where it's coming from and how deep the rabbit hole goes, because it's very interesting. They wanted to do something like this even back as far as the 80s, but they didn't have technology to do that then, but they do now. They do now. And, actually it's kind of crazy, but it's like with blockchain technology that they'll be able to do it, and they'll be able to build programmable money. It goes deep. It's crazy. It's crazy. You need to provide that info so people can verify your research. Yeah, absolutely. And no doubt. That being said, everything that I say, if it's pretty broad information, can be verified very easily. You can just look it up. But yeah, no doubt. I spent about $7,000 on equipment for my videos. My goodness. I'm just using a phone. Good to catch you live. Yes, thank you, Jason. And I appreciate that as well. Thank you again for the super chat. Means a lot. I appreciate the support. Let's see. The video was good. Yes, Trump signed to implement in September. Yes. Yeah, and I think what happens is a lot of, and we'll talk about, if you're still here, let me know in the chat. We'll talk about that red pill stuff. I'll chat with you a little bit about that, because I think it's interesting. It's interesting seeing what you're doing over there and on the videos. And so I've been following that. But yeah, Trump. So it's interesting because, and what I said today earlier, it was like, I think people felt like Trump, and I even would have felt like Trump was the best option. I actually did. And I still think it was the better option, but I don't think we really have that much of a option altogether, if that makes sense. So when it comes to this digital ID stuff, for example, this is the bigger picture stuff that at certain levels, most of the entities are in lockstep with this. So they're all going to kind of use this, and push it no matter what. And I agree with you about the election. Yeah. So yeah. Not good choices, right? And it's not that we may never have good choices. You have to have so much money on your side to become the president, and or to even run, right? To even involve yourself in the. It's not that you have to personally have money, but you have to have money behind you, and it's just crazy. So you're never going to get like a regular people are like, we just need a regular Joe. That's never going to happen. Never going to happen. So you're going to have people that are in parties with, and this is the other thing. So when I went to school at a private school, right? I hung out, my parents were kind of what you might call middle class. I went to a school with a private school with very wealthy kids, and I hung out in the trailer parks as well with very, like, let's just say kids that lived in relative poverty for America, which isn't terrible in America, but still, right? So all different levels. And what I learned was, you have people hanging out in certain rooms with certain people. It's not this big conspiracy or nefarious thing so much as this is just the way these people look at the world, and they don't have another way of looking at it. And so when you deal with like billionaires, this is a whole different level. Dan knows this. He talked about this before, but it's a whole different level. They're hanging out with each other, and they don't really have another way of looking at the world other than their way of looking at the world, right? So for them, it's not like I'm going to get out and go work on my Honda Civic so that I can go to work and so that I can use it, so that I can Doordash, so I can make $200 so that I can pay my bills. This is just they don't understand that. They can conceptualize of it, but you can't really understand needing to do that, right? So there's different levels to the game. And on certain levels, it kind of makes sense. Well, we just do digital ID, then all these people will be able to, we'll be able to keep up with all the people, right? Well, what if some of the people don't want to be kept up with? What if some of the people maybe just don't, it goes deep, because if they know everything, if a company, for example, knows everything that you ever purchased, everything that you ever have done, they know where you're at. They might, let's just say you're at a place that you have traveled to. They know that you like a certain restaurant, and so they'll pop up this deal when you're in the hotel on your Doordash or whatever app, and they'll give you a deal to the restaurant, to the meal that they know you like, And the price could be different for you than it is for somebody else that's maybe going to that restaurant because they know darn well you're not going to go drive down to the restaurant. You're in the hotel. You don't have a car because they know that, because they know the records you didn't buy a rental car. You get what I'm saying? And so they can jack the price up on that meal, having it delivered to your hotel. This is the kind of thing with the digital ID that people don't think about, because a lot of people are like, well, I have nothing to hide. It's not about that. They can manipulate a lot of other things, prices, the way you're advertised to, the things that you're offered in life. So it's beyond just the regular stuff. So I think I'm still trying to figure out this YouTube thing too, with how these channels blow up. How far do I want to push it? Yeah. Jason says to Dan, it's a balance. It's a balance of figuring out how to leverage the algorithm without selling out your morals. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it becomes a thing. Like, so Dan, like Raymond's channel, for example. So he complains about a lot. Very good video quality. He's got a lot of good takes actually, but he complains about a lot of things. And it's kind of funny, but it's like, dude, if you met him in real life, you're like, dude, you complain about a lot of things, right? Do you want to be somebody who just complains about things? Now, I think it would get clicks if you complain about things. And this is not throwing any shade on Raymond, but you get what I'm saying. Like, that sells because a lot of people want to either see him crash out, or they feel that way themselves. And so they're going to resonate with that and would rather resonate in misery loves company. Right. But do you want to actually put that out, or do you want to, you do have to find a balance. Dan says, I agree. I am fighting the temptation all the time to stay true to the roots of why I started the channel. Yes. And you should, dude. You have like we were talking about last week. You have knowledge that I want, for example. So as far as, we may not agree on everything, we might not live our life exactly the same. We're both happily married. My dynamic with my wife might be different than yours. That's okay. But you've been extremely successful in certain avenues, and that you have something to offer on that level. And I believe that's kind of why you started the channel, was to help people based on the knowledge that you've created, right? Or that you've had over the course of your lifetime. And so because of that, you have value that you can add. And so I would stay true to that. Definitely stay true to that. Don't get caught too much in the weeds. Now, the drama and stuff sells, but the drama is like, I don't personally like drama. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not worth it. You know what I mean? Now, if it happens, it happens. But I'm usually going to probably just ignore it for the most part, because I'm not trying to do that either. On this channel, this is my everything channel. I like to have fun. I have a video that I'll probably release tomorrow exploring a downtown area with murals and old buildings and stuff like that I found awesome. And it's just me exploring with the GoPro, because it was today, and the place where the thrift shop was, they had these crazy murals and all these old buildings with old, you'll see when the video comes out. I'll drop it probably tomorrow, because it's in 4K and it's going to take a while to upload. My upload speeds at the house suck. So it's just going to be like a set it and forget it overnight type upload. But I like stuff like that. That's what Driving Daily, I do all kinds of stuff. So the things that we're talking about right now are kind of deep for this channel, which is why I started the other channel, because it has a mission as well. I don't want to say wake people up. It's more of like, here's a way that I've learned of looking at things after looking at things, really crazy things. I've had the tinfoil hat times, and I've had the more critical times, and I know people that work in government. I know people that are teachers, for example, Dan, like the latest thing you were talking about. And so I have an interesting and unique view on life, and a different way of looking at things, a different way of looking through that information and kind of discerning. And I've started to notice patterns. And this is why I talk about the social media mind control over there, because I've started to notice patterns of this stuff. You're starting to notice a pattern too with the red pill. I don't agree exactly everything with what you're talking about, but I do understand what you're saying, and I see it in the red pill. It's a pattern, and it's a programming pattern. There's all these, they're programming patterns. It's kind of, I guess I'll say that and coin that, right? And I'll probably end up using that term a lot now. But I've started to just notice them. So how did I notice them? Critical thinking, realizing that, the algorithm is tailored to you, but it's also tailored to keep you on the network. So let's see. Let's check that. Keep up the chat. Got that right. I could go to extremes with my content and build faster, but I would rather have real fans instead of numbers. Jason, you hit the nail on the head. And, you know, I couldn't agree more with that because, dude, it's better to have a better community. Of course you can, dude. So being on YouTube for a couple years now with the one channel and then with the other channel, I've realized some things. I feel like there's certain things I could do and I could probably go viral pretty easily. I really do. But I have no interest in that because, like I said, you know, some people talk about certain things. I'm not willing to go there. First of all, I don't believe that truly to myself. I always want to uplift people, so I'm not going to sit here. But, you know, some of the stuff we talk about on the other channel is a little bit doom and gloom, but I always try to provide a solution. That's part of it. It's like, yeah, this is going on, but here's a way of looking at it that can be beneficial, right? And so that's kind of what I want to provide. But yeah, no, you know, it's not worth it because you're not going to, I mean, I guess you could make a lot of money, but it's not about that. It's more about what you leave behind you, what you leave when you leave this place. You know, any of us could not be here tomorrow. And if you look back at all your videos, if your children or your family is looking back at all those videos, they can say, man, you know, John really loved exploring places. That's awesome. John really liked to share his knowledge and research, and he also wanted to learn, and he always wanted to learn from all these people. So he had these live streams and had these very intelligent people come into the live streams and have these conversations and was always trying to learn from them. Or, you know, man, John really was good at like clickbait and which clickbait's not bad in and of itself, but he was really good at like basically grifting, you know what I mean? Like there's a difference, right? Like John was a heck of a grifter, made a lot of money on YouTube. Yeah, it's not the same. It just doesn't hit the same, right? So it's very important what you leave behind you when you go. Okay, here we go. I'm catching up with the chat. Dan says, same here, doesn't live in so much drama. Happened to me a few nights ago. I ended up in a complete argument and ended the chat. Oh my goodness. Was I there? I wasn't there, was I? Yeah, I was going to do a video on what you just said last week and just now. I don't know what you're talking about though, Dan. Clarify that if you're still there in the chat there, what you were going to do the video on. And you may still should do the video is what I'm saying, kind of like in a way. We'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, I love your takes, dude. You have a great mindset. Well, I mean, I appreciate that. Yeah, Jason did hit the nail on the head. Yeah, he did. And Jason does good stuff because the things that he's doing on his channel are informative, and it's kind of stuff that you can learn from and you can do, and it can enrich your life, right, in a certain way, especially if you're into the same things that he's into as far as diet, things like that. I'm trying to catch up. I'm sorry, guys. I think you were in the chat that night. I might have been. I know there was one that you hit me up later afterwards, after the fact, and you were like, dude, I had to cut the chat. I had to like delete the video or something. Yeah, I might remember that actually. But you had gotten in an argument earlier that night. I wasn't there for the argument. Just started in April. It's been crazy. Positivity is key. Yes. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know how to take compliments very well. So, already loving this community here. You're right. Yeah, it's great, dude. And we got some good people that come in here, Dan. Check them out, you know, and the thing is like, so I've kind of weeded out, like, there's a lot of people that will come to your channel, and there's a lot of people that will like subscribe and hang out or whatever for time. And, you know, you just got to hang out and be real. And then eventually you'll get the people that, like my mindset, like I said, I want to learn. I haven't gotten to the point where I'm wealthy like Dan yet. So when he says something about becoming wealthy, I listen, of course, you know. Now, there's things that I'm good at. Like I said last week, I'm kind of street smart. Dude, I spent time like in my 20s not really doing what you're supposed to do in life, right? Like not just going to work and building the career. I hung out and I went a lot of different places, did a lot of different things and learned a lot, not specifically the stuff that Dan's going to teach you on his channel. So there's the value there. Now, let's see. Do you get what I'm saying? So, yeah, community is important because everybody has something to add. Here, especially at Real Thoughts Project, on my other channel, I am there to learn, but also to, like I said, discuss ways that I've figured out how to see patterns, how to see, you know, through the social media mind control program, the programming patterns, if you will, that kind of stuff. Because I've seen that stuff during those years. I saw a lot of what you would call tinfoil hat stuff come true. And I saw how that happened over the course of time enough now to where, I see where there's like psyops going on. There's like stuff going on that's just designed to like take people out of the game completely. And the doomer stuff is one of those things. I made a video about that. Dan, you're kind of on that. You're kind of catching on to that yourself, I think, in some of this stuff. Now, I didn't call it red pill content creation. I called it doomer content creation because I feel like, because I went into those videos and into those chats, and I saw people talking about checking out of the game, basically. And I'm not talking about the big game, just like, I'm going to stay home and play video games because why do anything else? Because it's not worth it. That type of stuff. That was that's the doomer. I call that doomer stuff, like doomer content. And that's designed to keep people out of the game and turn them into NPCs. So that's why I made that video. And there's a point behind that. But yeah, we're here to learn and hopefully, and also have fun. Like on this channel for more than like Real Thoughts Project, you might never see me like walking through a town exploring. I do that stuff here. There's a video coming out tomorrow where like I'm going to just walk through and it's one take and it's just exploring mostly point of view, but I talk the camera a little bit, but it's mostly just point of view where in 4K where you can see this old town with the bricks and the different brickwork, the murals, the barbershop, all that stuff, right? Because I love exploring stuff like that. And so one day this channel, I would like to have exploration on the channel like that on a regular basis. Maybe we'll go to different towns and do that. But we'll see how, that video does and see how you guys like that. See if you want me to do it anymore. And if you do, I'd love to. But then again, it's like I made the plasma blaster. Did you guys see the plasma blaster? I took a lighter and and it shoots a thing of, fire. It's not really plasma, but it's blue. It kind of looks like plasma. I don't think it's technically plasma actually, but I use the term plasma blaster. But anyway, there's stuff like that I like to do too, right? And then of course I like knives and stuff. So I'm going to show you guys some of that. This is my everything channel. So I like having an everything channel. It takes the pressure off. I can do whatever I want. Like Jason was saying earlier, that's not going to blow my channel up. That's the worst. They say that's like the worst thing you can do, probably, because it's going to bring, one day there's somebody that wants to explore old towns. And hey, Fever Dream, hope you're doing well. I saw you in the chat. Squirrels is here. Hey, Squirrel, how you doing? You'll have somebody come in that wants to explore the town, right? But then I put out a video about how I built a plasma blaster out of a lighter, right? And that person might not want to see that. And then I go to a racetrack and watch the cars drifting and stuff like that and go ride with somebody drifting. Maybe that person doesn't want to see that, right? And then I do a live stream like this. We're talking about digital IDs and all this. Probably the worst thing I could do for growth for my channel. Yes, I am monetized though, Desert Living. It ain't big money though, right? But that's probably the worst thing I could do for growth, but it's great for community because if you guys get to see what I actually like to do, because I like to explore old towns, I like to go to the racetrack and watch cars drift around, and if they let me drive, that's great too. If they let me ride, that's also great. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like to work on my cars sometimes. I like knives. I like building little plasma blasters out of lighters, right? So anyway, the difference is that it's, you at a certain point it weeds everybody out where it's like the guys, you guys that stick with me, I mean, maybe it's cool. Like maybe you like the community and you like the videos and I appreciate you sticking with me and it means a lot more than if I was just the guy that explores town. But I mean, at some point, on some level, I am that guy, right? I'm just a lot of other things too. And if I was really smart, I'd probably create a channel for each one of those things. But that's a lot to keep up with, man. It's enough to keep up with the talking channel, the Real Talks channel. Real Thoughts, but it's a talking channel, just the talking head. And then all the research that I'm doing for the videos, that I have a bigger plan for that channel, and you guys are going to see it coming. But it's enough to keep up with that and this. It's a lot. And so a third channel where I'm like having to drive specifically to a place to do the videos and do all that, guys, it takes a couple years. It took a couple years, not everybody. It took me a couple years to get this channel where it's monetized, but some days it makes $1. Okay, guys, it's not something that's gonna just make you rich right off the bat, unless you get a banger. I do have a video that made like $75, right? So it just depends, you know, but that was a car video where, you know, people watch that video every day. People watch that video every day. Whatever when they're trying to look for that specific thing, they search and they find that video and they watch. And it's actually a series of videos, so they usually watch 2 or 3 of them. It just worked out that way. But technically, if you want to blow up on YouTube, that's the kind of stuff you need to do. But anyway, I do enjoy just making videos that I enjoy making as well. But anyway, Squirrel, hope you're doing well. Fever Dream, I don't know if you're still here, but I'm glad to see you in the chat. I appreciate you being here. It's been a while, actually. Thought the lighter thing was awesome. Yeah, it is, and it looks cooler at night, so that's why I did the video at night. It's a little bit unimpressive if you just did it. I kind of probably made it look a little more impressive than it is, but it's everything you see. I mean, it literally does that. It takes the lighter and it like shoots flames out. Now, the question is, you guys want to build me, or I mean, do you want me to build another one of those that's more powerful, right? I can do that. I can do bigger, lighter. I can move up to propane as well. I can also do 2 chambers where it kind of like has more power because it builds up in the first chamber and then it'll shoot up the next chamber. And then I guess I could probably also like maybe shoot some Nerf darts or something eventually out. I don't know. I like building stuff like that when I have time. I don't really have time a lot, but when I do, don't blame myself. I'm not going to do that. Try not to anyway. Yeah, don't do it at home, right? Like don't do this at home. I'm not a professional. I'm a professional idiot, guys. Don't do this at home. Let's see. Everybody's saying, hey, maybe 5 subjects on your channel and you're fine with it. Yeah, no, I mean, it's cool. Your channel's doing good, man. Let's see. Not monetized. You have 2 channels. Yeah, I've got the other channel, the 2.0. I have that one. Yeah, the Frenchie channel. Yeah, the Frenchie stuff. That's kind of cool that you do those videos. Let's see. And I'm sure that the Frenchie owners are probably pretty serious about, when they come across your videos, they're going to be pretty serious about that stuff. I like it just because I like dogs. I don't have a Frenchie or whatever, but I can't really afford a Frenchie right now. But like I said, we were talking about it. My dog, she's awesome. I love her. She's very cool. She loves me. You know, she's just awesome dog. Probably worth like $10. And but she's great. Like the night videos, and that's when I made that plasma blaster, I was like just doing it for fun, and then I was like, dude, I should do a video on this, you know. And it's not what my channel's about, but whatever. I like doing videos like that with the music too and the editing. It's fun. I just don't have time to do it a lot. I used to do it with cars, and I used to do it with other things as well. Some of the exploring stuff that I used to do on the channel, I would add music and I would kind of make it look cool, and I enjoy doing that. It's fun. I don't get the chance to do it all the time because I'm working all the time. I'm like literally, I'm working a lot. It's like a 57 Chevrolet just drove by. That's awesome. So I love that. Don't get hurt. Yeah. Listening at work. Awesome, Squirrel. I appreciate that. Thank you for listening to the live stream at work. I appreciate that. That kind of support goes a long way, actually. And as you know. And I think Squirrel said he's not monetized, but you keep doing those live streams and you'll get there, buddy. You'll get there. One thing is, like, if you don't do as many shorts and you do long form, that helps. Because then when you get a good long form video that gets like 10,000 views or something, that helps a lot. You just love animals. Yeah, I do too. I mean, I do too. So I said the other day that my daughter's the cat person, I'm the dog person, but I like the cats too. You know, they're cool. I just don't like taking care of cats. There's things about cats I don't like, and I could totally live without, to be honest with you, really. But yeah, my daughter really loves them. When you have a daughter, you know, it's yeah, you gotta kind of like, she loves cats, so we got a cat. Cooking dinner with my laptop in the bar, watching you. Awesome, Dan. I appreciate that. What are you making for dinner? That's interesting. So on these, you told me salad and a baked potato. That's great. It's a good little combination there. So everybody's always making dinner when I do the Monday live, and also we're a little bit late today because I had to go to those extra places and I filmed that one video. But everybody's always making dinner around, like starting to make dinner. It makes me so hungry because I haven't eaten anything except for breakfast yet. I hit the road sometimes and I just go and do, and I don't think about getting food until later. I'm glad I dropped in. Got to run. Going to research for my next video. Keep up the great work. Love your channels. Bye, everyone. Okay. Bye, Desert Living. Thank you for stopping in. I do appreciate it. You do have some good work going on over there, and I do appreciate all of that as well. It's a very similar vein to what I'm doing over on Real Thoughts. I think they're different though, because the things that she's doing over there, it's a different level, and I think it's both necessary. So I do applaud it and I appreciate it. Some of this stuff is a little tricky, guys, and some of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about Real Thoughts is going to be, I got to be careful how I do it, because there's people that are not going to like that line of research, some of the lines of research that we're going to go into, but some of it's reality, and you're just going to have to face it and deal with it. You know what I mean? At a certain level. At a certain level, if you're offended by something, then it's most important to look at yourself in the mirror and understand why it is that you're offended by things. When you get your trailer studio set up, we should do live and chat. Yes, I hope we can do that. So the only problem I'm having over there right now is I have the signal. I don't have any internet hardwired in. I can use a hotspot. The signal is different at different times. So I've been getting anywhere between I think it was between 8 and 12 megabits per second outside, but inside it's a lot less. So what I'm going to try to do is, and this is why I hadn't used that place to begin with, right? But what I'm going to try to do, I think they make an antenna that's external, that's like a 5G booster that can work to my phone, and I can use my phone as a hotspot, and I can either just use the phone at first, but also I'd like to set up a laptop with a webcam and a boom mic. That's what I would really like to do. Starlink is the ultimate solution, but I'm on a budget. So that's the tricky part. I am on a budget right now. So that's it's because I have my internet, my home internet, and this place is not at my home. It's at it's a family property, but it's in a different place. And so I would not be able to just replace my home internet with the Starlink, because if I took the mobile Starlink with me, which is what I'd have to use at this place, I would have to, take the internet away from my family at home, which I'm probably going to be over there mostly at nights anyway. This is the reason I want to do that, because I can do that and just stay up late at night, not worry about it, not bother the family. I have a small house, big family. So I'm thinking about it, though. It's in the cards. It's just not right now. But ultimate big picture, what I want, what we would like to see, the mobile Starlink, and then set up a dedicated computer over there, or probably just a laptop where I can add a boom mic instead of this, and probably a webcam or two. It's a camper, so it's not going to be very visually appealing. I can probably do a couple things for that. The sound, obviously the sound's not going to have a lot of sound deadening, so not professional level stuff, but it's just a place where I can hang out and really get down into the subject matters. Plain and simple setup. Yeah, I mean that's all I really want to do, and all of it will be budget stuff at first. I mean, literally budget stuff at first. But there's a thing called I have to look it up. I think it's called what I want. Hold on one second. Yes. Is it OBS? OBS stream software? I think that's what I want to use, because it's free and it has a lot of options, and you can modify a lot of stuff. So I'm trying to get, like I said, a laptop dedicated where I can put OBS Studio. That's it. And of course, it'll be a huge learning curve. So I'll be doing all these tests. I'll probably do tests on this channel. I don't want to waste my time on tests on the other channel so much because it's all about the information, but it's easy and badass. Okay, well, that's good. I think it will do all the things that I want to do and then some. I've never had the screen share capability because I'm just using a phone. I've never had this also, you know, like bringing people on into the studio. Of course, I could use StreamYard for that as well. I've been on StreamYard panels before because I could use just my computer at home, no headset, and the computer mic. But I'd rather have a good dedicated mic. I don't want, you know, I see these panels and sometimes I'm on there with just the computer, you know, I'll hop into people's panels and stuff and I'm like, man, my audio sounds terrible. I don't want to do that to people. But people do it to each other all the time. I mean, but yeah, you know, I would rather have a little bit better audio. And I'm not talking about spending $200-300 on a microphone either. I'm talking about like $50 on a decent microphone that's going to be a little better than the next thing. This whole channel that we're on right now was built with basically just a cell phone. And then eventually I was gifted a GoPro, right? Which helped me with a lot of the action stuff at the racetrack. And also I use it for exploring because it's kind of tough and it's easy and it just picks up the sound everywhere. And it's kind of good. It's easy to hold and stuff like that. So I like the GoPro for stuff like that. It also takes very good quality 4K video. Huge files though, takes forever to upload. So like I said, like the video I did today, I'll probably upload it tonight. I'll probably do it for tomorrow, but it'll take all night. Well, it won't take all night. It'll probably could take a couple hours to upload. It's a 20-minute 4K video. So it's going to take a while for me to upload at my house. But the Starlink would be the ultimate goal. I have a vision for what it's all going to be eventually. And part of that is going to be the Starlink, the basic setup that we were talking about. And that's basically it. I want to be able to, I don't even know if I'm going to really screen share much because I don't want to really react to people. I don't want to have any problems with like copyrights and stuff like that. I would like to maybe like with news articles and things like that, be able to bring those up. I would like to possibly be able to do like slides. I have books that I want to read out of, certain books for some of the research. It's crazy stuff, Dan. You're going to have to buckle up because, you know, when you get some of the stuff gets going, you're going to be like, dude, this guy's wild. But this is just stuff I've been researching for years, but I want to be able to compile it in a way I can actually show or even just read to you guys out of the book, and I'll just like cite the reference so that you know what to do. I mean, obviously some of the books are hard to get actually that I have, that I acquired over the years. And so they're not, some of them are not just books you can buy on Amazon actually. Gets a little crazy. But yeah, I want to be able to do all that. And you know, it'll take time. You know, I'll just work my way up from the simple and I'll add as I go. That's what I've done on this channel. I had the regular phone, no microphone even. The audio is terrible. If you go back and look at some of the older videos, the audio is just terrible. So I got the mic, then I got the GoPro. I got the GoPro first, and I just switched to everything filming on the GoPro. And I was doing everything in 4K, which was, like I said, it was huge files. Exporting bit rate setting, I don't know. I have to check that out. I'll check it out tonight before I upload. And probably need to lower the bit rate, possibly. I'm fine with the tinfoil hat, yeah. The audio is fine right now. Just keep the setup the same. Use that mic with your computer, yeah. So this mic won't work with my computer though, that's the thing. This is a dedicated just for Android. I tried to use it with the computer the other night, it wouldn't work. I went on somebody's stream, on the StreamYard panel, and I was like, man, I would love to see if this microphone would work. Tried to get it to work, it wouldn't work. So I just need a dedicated mic for the computer if I'm going to do that. But the first streams that go on over there are probably going to be the phone. I did a stream the other day on this channel. It was like a test stream, and at about 2 hours, maybe like 1 or 2 minutes of that footage had glitches in it from, you know, the 5G, I guess, kicking in and out. And part of the problem with that is in that camper, it's like a metal tube. So it's like it's not a tube. It's like a box. It's not a. I wish it was a tube. The those stainless steel ones. I wish it was, but it's not. But basically, it's a box, right? So it kind of acts like a blocker for the signal. Because when I was over there testing the signal, it's way more. It's like double outside the camper. Outside the camper, I probably wouldn't have a problem at all. Inside, it's pretty bad. So we're gonna have to use the phones as hotspots for now. But anyway, between now and the Starlink, I'm thinking about getting an external antenna for the 5G and then kick it off to an amplifier inside so that my phone can pick up, use it as a hotspot, then I can use it on whatever. And at first, I'll just be using the phone anyway. Get an Elgato Cam Link 4K. Okay, I'll look that up. I'll write it down right now. I'm searching it on Google so that it comes up on Amazon. 99 bucks. So versatile to capture from phones, tablets, and cameras. Okay. You're saying I can use the phone as a camera with this. External capture card. Okay. All right. Yeah, this is where I was telling Desert Living earlier. I'm not like super smart with all this stuff, really. I have to learn it all. Like even this mic, I was like a little intimidated, but then it's like easy. So once you get it, it does make sense. Like you just get the stuff and you just use it and figure it out. I'll have to do that. There's cheaper cam links on here, but are they as good as that one? Is that something I have to have like the highest quality? I'm not saying I want to just cheap out. I'm gonna look this up. I'm gonna look into that. But it would allow me to use phones as webcams basically too, right? That's cool. It'd be cool to have two angles where I could switch back and forth, and I'm sure I could do that on that studio, OBS studio. I just got to learn. And you know what I'll do is what I do with a lot of things, Dan, is I will go into I'll go into, like, say if I get my laptop set up, which I have to buy a special laptop because I would have to take the one that I use for work at home. I'm not going to do that. I just want a dedicated one. But say I get the OBS studio. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'm just going to I'll literally go on YouTube. I'm going to play around with it, but I'm also going to go on YouTube and I'm going to look at somebody just give me a full tutorial, which videos like that, by the way, should do really well. If you know that kind of stuff so good that you could do a tutorial on it, you know, that would be a good way of like making a video that would probably do well for a long time, because people like me will watch that and learn from it. There are lots of ways to set up your system. You can stream to OBS Studio from the phone via network. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I've got to figure this out, man. I just got to play with it, figure it out. It's not something I'm going to make myself do immediately. Like, over the course of the next 2-3 months, I'm going to be playing with this stuff, right? Until then, I'll be making videos and I'll be continuing to do what we're doing. I might make some videos at the camper, actually setting it up. But yeah, I'll look into it. Yeah, it's a long-term thing. It's a long-term. Just so you guys know, it's not something that's going to be popping up next week or what. Don't look for that. I'll still be making creative videos over here and also the talking videos over at Real Thoughts Project. But in the meantime, I'm learning this stuff and I'm trying to put it together. Yeah, it'll probably be a train wreck at first. Fever Dream says microphone with a sound effect card might be useful. Okay. I'll look into that. Looking forward to seeing the setup grow. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's that's basically where we're at. You know, gonna work on that stuff. But I got shifting gears a little bit. I got some good stuff at the bin store today. So I'll be busy in the morning listing all that stuff up. I got like 100-something pieces here. I got these. These are for Jeep. Anybody have a Jeep Wrangler or Gladiator? Because I got these keyhole covers, and apparently they're pretty sought after. But I got a bunch of these. They're not big money, They're just bread and butter. You know, I got some video games. I got some of these. A little police light go on your bike. It's kind of gimmicky, but people buy them. I don't care. People like them. You know what I mean? I don't mind that it's gimmicky. I got some remotes. I love remotes. I get all the remotes. I got a lot of good stuff in here. Let's see if there's anything else interesting. A couple car parts. I got some batteries. These are for like vapes. I don't vape, but people buy those things. So I got a lot of those. I got like 100. Dude, I don't know how many of those I got, but it's like 100 pieces all together, all that stuff. Remotes sell, people lose them. Yeah, I know. Yeah, so we have Roku TVs, and my dog loves the Roku remotes. I know it's terrible, but occasionally she'll get a hold of it, start chewing on it, and yeah, so I had bought like a bunch of Roku remotes to have as backups. Now we have a place where we put the remote where the dog can't get it. But it is what it is. She just loves the Roku remote. I don't know why. But I know for a fact that like I was looking for them, and then I found them at the bin store one time for $1 each. They're about $6 or $7 online. So they're not expensive, but like $1 is way better. So instead of buying one, I bought like 6 or 7 for $1 each for the price of buying one. That's why I like doing this stuff. But yeah, these remotes, so some of the remotes are worth more than others. I like to try to find ones that are worth at least $10 because, you know, at that price, you're at least doubling. You're really going to probably triple your money. You're probably going to get $3 and some change back after shipping, fees, packing, all that stuff. So that's what I look to do at the bare minimum. But that's like bread and butter stuff. That's not big money, obviously. Of course, I would love to, you know, the $1 flashlight. If I can restore that and sell it for $50, that's nice. I'm doing that more because it's interesting to me. I do the same thing with radios. There's certain radios I'll get for $4 or $5, and I end up selling them for like maybe $30. Don't make a lot of money on them, but I like those radios, man. I like to have a stock of about 3 or 4 of those radios that aren't listed at any given time. And what I do is I'll buy any ones that I actually see. I'll buy them and kind of clean them and restore them up a little bit. And I'll list some of the ones out of that stack because the price is always going up on those classic radios. So I don't want to list them all at 30 and sell them today. In a year, 2 years, it'll be 35, 40 bucks. These are nice GE classic radios. They don't go bad, dude. I mean, they probably will eventually, but I've never actually had to replace a speaker in one. They've never had like a rattle. I've only had a couple of them that had like a rattle in there. Something broke loose. They're just really well built. The tuners on them are great. And if I had to have one radio for the rest of the world, like end of the world or whatever, it would probably be one of those GE radios. Frequently found in those old hotels and stuff back in the day. The kind of thing that would be on your dresser. Just a really good quality radio. But it's a couple specific models. You know, it's not all of them. But yeah, so have a lot of fun with that. But let's see what time we got. We've been here about an hour and 13 minutes. So guys, I don't want to keep you guys all day. I appreciate you spending your time with me, and that's awesome. That means a lot. So one of the best things you could do to support content creators, obviously, you know, of course, people appreciate super chats and things like that. But the biggest thing that people do to support one another on a day-to-day basis, obviously, and is just to, you know, hang out and watch the streams. And I hope that y'all get something out of it. I don't want to just sit here and just ramble for the sake of rambling, but I do like connecting with people, and I like learning what you guys have to offer. You gave me a little bit of advice here on the studio, so I'll be looking into that. I have it right here, the cam link. We'll look into that for the setup. Yeah, and obviously eventually I want the Starlink, but I don't know if I want to pull the trigger on that just yet. You know, if YouTube was making like an extra $300 a month, I would probably do that. And I'll say this, even if I get this channel to do that, I will use some of that for the other channel and get a Starlink, right? We're not quite there right now, but with my experience with videos, I've seen occasionally you do get a video. Like I said, I have one that's made 75, 80 bucks on just the video. It actually would have made a lot more than that, but I wasn't monetized when I put the video out. But that happens. I know it happens. So there's a lot of potential there. And yeah, if it starts to reach its full potential, if I start doing more exploration videos and more reviews and things like that on this channel, and it produces a little bit for me, I will then take that and maybe we will get a Starlink, and then we can set up a badass studio. I'd love to do that. And we'll talk more about that red pill stuff that you were getting into. I saw you got into it with a couple of the other guys on a couple videos ago, and then you made a video recently here. I commented on that video, but we'll talk about that further in the future, Dan, and that'll be interesting. We'll leave a little bit on the table, for the future, and we'll get into that. So do appreciate it. We've got 8 people here, and that's awesome. So, but if you just stepped into the live stream, I am about to end it here. We're at about a minute and 15 seconds. Everybody else is off of work. I'm going to go work. I'm going to go Doordash. Yeah, that would be fun for sure. I think, yeah. I'll have to comment. We'll leave it at that on the other video. We'll leave it at that for now, and then we'll just pick up the conversation later. I think it's funny how you use the, you turned the simp phrase around though on them. I get that. I think that's kind of funny. I kind of get that too. They're in each other's live stream, and being in the live stream every single day because of somebody that you don't know and don't interact with. It's not like these people have YouTube channels and stuff. I get it. You know what I mean? They're probably sitting there eating Cheetos or like playing video games or something. And to me, it's like, dude, go get a sec. Like, okay, I'll say this. We got on the conversation. So with the doomer stuff, I've seen people in the doomer space sit there and talk about, oh man, I don't have any money and I don't have any, whatever, nobody's dating me and all this stuff. And it's like, dude, here's the thing. I'll get into the chat and it's like, yeah, what are you doing? Well, I'm about to go Doordash because I have extra time. So I'm going to go do something else that's going to bring income in, right? And it's like, so what are you doing? I'm about to go film a video, right? What are you doing? I'm about to go, do something with my family, with my wife, whatever. It's like, some people, if you took the time that you complain and you just went and did something productive, it could be anything. It could be something really little, like your video about talking. And I think I touched on this on one video too, because this is actually how I started. But just start, even when you're broke, just start investing $5, $10 a week or whatever, and then you'll do 20 a week, and then you'll do 50 a week. And then before you know it, you'll be doing 100 a week, which is actually becomes kind of substantial. And that's how I started getting into investing and stuff like that, and just seeing it stack up, and then it gives you confidence eventually, and then you have enough of a buffer where you can, if you have to take a day to start something new, you could actually do it. It's nothing hurting you, and then that you could get into some more income streams. And for me, like I said, I'm DoorDash now. Here I see a lot of people DoorDashing that they came from other jobs. These people have been laid off. They had other types of jobs because this ain't the kind of thing they've done. I've always kind of hustled and had these jobs on the bottom end while I build other things. And right now I'm building the eBay thing, and I'm building the YouTube thing, and I'm doing a couple other things on the side as well. And so always this is the thing that it can pay the bills consistently, and it can put that X amount of money per week in my investment accounts consistently. And I don't even honestly, it's okay for me to be broke technically, because I'm not broke. I get to this crazy point, Dan, where it's happened over the last year. I've been at this weird spot where I'm doing better than I've ever done, but also broker than I've ever I feel like I'm really broke, but I feel like I'm really so far from being broke at the same time, because I just put my money to work. I don't just sit on money to go buy video games with, right? I don't know how to explain it. And so whereas a lot of the doomers and a lot of the people that end up in those chats, yeah, if they would just go out and do something, maybe just start a channel and maybe go get a job, get a better job or something, or DoorDash. And I understand it is tough. I will say this, Dan, it is tough out there. The prices are higher, and it is rough, right? The grocery bills are higher, and this, that, and the other, and it doesn't seem to be going down. But you have a choice. The way I look at it, you can try new things and expand and do more. You're gonna have to probably produce more, or get a job that just knocks everything out of the ballpark. You could do that. I prefer to build things, and it costs me a little bit, to build things, like to actually start things from the ground up, because you have this periods of time where you're broke, really, but you're really not, because you're creating equity and you're doing things. Yeah, you have to do that, And look, I would have quit everything I'm doing. I would have quit a long time ago if the first little bit of time it didn't work out, and I felt like, hey, this is hard. It's not easy. YouTube, for example, like, it's not here to pay the bills, but it's a thing that I wanted to build in order to build it, to build a platform where we can have fun, we can explore, we can do all these things together, right? And it's cool now. But 2 years ago, it was just a couple videos, and if you could sit there and look at, you could sit there and look at like 80 subscribers, and then the next day you look and it's like 79, and you're like, dude, what the heck am I doing? And it takes a person that's like slightly delusional and very motivated to do things like this. I think if you could do this, if you could do YouTube and succeed, you could do a lot of things in life, probably, because you can apply that same slightly delusional, but also somewhat calculated and also very motivated kind of mentality, I guess you could say. I know it's crazy, not for everybody, you know what I mean? And but if you can do this, you can do a lot of things. Yeah, I said the exact same thing on the simp video. Go get a second job, third job. Yeah, exactly. Just go do something different. It's going to make you more fulfilled. It's going to fill up your pocket a little bit more. You're going to learn something. You're going to be busy, so you're not going to be sitting there worried so much, because there is a lot of bad information out there. I get it. You feel broke because you're always reinvesting in your family and business. Yeah, absolutely. And so, yeah. So, and then I'm not broke. I have all this equity in these different things. So really, it's a better place to be. It's a better place to be than I've ever been before. I'm not like wealthy or anything like that. I'm not saying that I'm like big dog, big money or whatever. It's just like, dude, I've lived life before where even when I made really good money, I wasn't the best with it. I thought I was pretty good with money because I could make a lot in a day or whatever, and I could make, like way more than a lot of people, but I spent a lot of money, right? I did a lot of things, traveled, saw different things. So I go on a trip and like spend like, $5,000-$6,000 to go look and explore all these different places, and you get the memories. But at the same time, I wish I'd have known then to just invest a little bit every week, just do the $100 a week or whatever, right? And it would have made a big difference. Now, I mean, oh my gosh, dude, it would have made a big difference. But I know now, once you know, you can't go back. So it's pretty cool. And so one day, if I live long enough, be making videos on stuff like kind of like you, Dan, and encouraging younger people. And I already do, but encouraging younger people to invest a little bit sometimes. Everything is mindset. Fever dream, you're right. Pretty much everything is mindset. It does start with the mindset, man. And if you get down, you get down in life. Everybody gets down. So the thing about being depressed, the thing about having a bad day is something. Staying in that bad day, like for the rest of your life, is not normal. And we're not talking about something bad happening to you. It's just like, oh yeah, life sucks or whatever. Nah, dude. There's got to be something that can, if it's that bad, it might even take getting up and moving. Go in another city and move somewhere else, or town somewhere, or go and move out in the country. If you live in the city, try something different. It may take that. I don't know. But why not try it? Why not try it instead of like completely giving up? But I will say this, I don't have as much emphasis in my life on becoming accepted in society. I really don't care about that. I think society, I will agree with the red pill people on this. Society is kind of garbage right now. I'm just saying that. I mean, look at the entertainment. Look at what the entertainment has become, for the most part, right? And look at where people's minds are, and the scrolling thing. That is society. That kind of is society right now. So I get it. The women and the men, they're both under attack. To degrade themselves in one way or another. And so, yeah, I left that video. I'll leave it. I'll leave that comment I'll leave it to that comment in your video because I think I worded it better then. But that's basically what it is. Everybody's under attack. You just can't succumb to the attack. You have to realize, like, there's a better option. All right. So, guys, I was trying to end the stream like 10 minutes ago. I do have a problem with that. Sometimes I just get a little chatty or whatever. But, hey, that's why I have a YouTube channel, guys. That's why I have 2 YouTube channels. That's why I need an outlet, right? To bail on you. No, that's cool, man. I'm leaving too. I appreciate you being here. I had fun hanging out. We're almost at an hour and 30 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it. I'm gonna go Doordash something now. So we can make a couple extra bucks. Hope everybody has a great day. I'll catch you on the next one.